question. Remember the goals that you set at the beginning of the year? New Year's? Went into 2025. Where are we at with them? Yeah. Something told me that we haven't given that much thought. But fear not. This is the mid-year check-in that you need if you still want to win 2025. You can consider this the first video that is a part of the Bombshell Diaries. That is a way for me to romanticize me working toward these goals for the second half of this year. And when a bombshell comes in, they shake the motherfucking room. And that's something that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make things shake this summer and thereafter. So do you see yourself as a bombshell? Do you see that in your future? Do you want to have a bombshell summer? Let's get into it.
Long as you got your eyes, got your trippy on them private jets, taking trips. Come back at 6, wake me and your child, and then won't lay today. Make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who you think you're playing with. I'm just telling myself to keep playing this record back over and over again. Swear that you changed, but I noticed the end. I want you on scene. Think you know your girl's so funny to me. That's why you think I left by one at a time. Got tired of your shit, you almost lost your mind. I'm trying to stay on your name. You'll continue to try to play these games. Leave your family in the cold rain. And I don't think you'll ever change your ways. Cause our house is not a home with no one's there. So alone, no one's there. Should I move on?
I see a bug, I have to kill it. Where are you at? There was his ass. I think I missed. That's how you do that.
Since no one's here, you know what you got is.
He played dead. And whoever want to clean up that medicine ball, they got it. I made sure I saw guts this time. Don't play with me.
Good, that's why you refuse to let me walk out to life. You refuse to match up with my vibe. You keep wasting my time. You keep wasting my time. Don't you on scene? Think you know your girl's so funny to me. That's why you think I left by one at a time. Got tired of your shit, you almost lost your mind. I'm trying to stay on your name. You'll continue to try to play these games. Leave your family in the cold rain. And I don't think you'll ever change your ways. Cause our house is not a home with no one's there. So alone, no one's there. Should I move on?
Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel and welcome if you are new here. I wanted to make sure that I started off this video with a very productive morning. I always like to do this when I know that I'm going to be having a productive day, or at least that's the intention for the day, and especially when I have something like what we're about to discuss on tap for the day, and that is a mid-year check-in. This is something that I feel as though is very, very necessary if we want to make sure that we are achieving the goals that we set for ourselves, and just starting off my morning as productive as possible puts me in a position to be able to do that, not only for myself but for y'all, to tap in with y'all and check in before I get into my 9 to 5. So without further ado, where are we at with our goals, you guys? Where are we at? I don't know that we're really privy, but it's now June. Today is June 24th. That is exactly 6 months into the year. So we are at the halfway mark. What better a time than now than to reevaluate, reassess, and review the goals that we set at the top of the year and see where we're at in terms of our progress. I know that I can't be the only one that tends to get a little bit knocked off of my path or my journey towards my success when the summertime comes around. It's an outside summer. It's hot outside. Many of us are going through a heat wave right now. We're going to happy hours, we're drinking, we're eating what we want, we're doing what we want, and all of those things are wonderful and great. I absolutely love the summer. However, it's a lot easier to deter away from working towards our goals during this time. But I wanted to do this video as a reminder to, number one, not let yourself fall off completely during this time, and number two, if you look back at your goals at the top of the year and realize that you are actually nowhere near achieving them, do not fret. This video will serve as a reassurance to you that it is still possible for you to win 2025. It is not too late to lock in. There are 6 months left in the year and a lot can happen in 6 months. And I just want to remind all of us of that and get ourselves back on track. So whether you're afraid that you are nowhere near achieving the goals that you set at the top of the year, you forgot that they even existed, or if you just barely had any to begin with and now you want to lock in and see the results that you want before 2025 is over, then this video is for you. But before we get into that, let me introduce myself for those who do not know. Hi, my name is Bree. I am your Gen Zennial bestie, your virtual sis working to successfully navigate her 20s in an attempt to thrive in her 30s. If you're looking for motivation, if you're looking for inspiration, if you have any ounce of you that wants to work and become the best versions of themselves, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the channel for you. Okay? Do yourself a favor and like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy this journey. It is very real, very transparent, speed bumps, hiccups, and everything in between, but more or less you will walk away with some value and some motivation and some inspiration. I promise you that. And for those who are reoccurring, you already know the vibes. So without further ado, let's get into our mid-year check-in. I have 3 simple steps that are going to make it seamless and efficient for you to not only get back on track if you have fallen off, but for you to remain on track, stay the course, and look forward to achieving your goals that you set at the top of the year by the end of 2025. I'm actually going to categorize these as like the 3 R's, because I feel like it's cutesy, you know, but it might be like 4 or 5, 6 R's. Just bear with me. The first R and the first step is for you to review. This is going to be easy for my type A girlies because more than likely you have a list somewhere. You have a list, or you have a vision board, digitally maybe in your phone, somewhere, wherever you put your goals down at the top of 2025 or right before the start of the year. I want you to pull that back out and we're going to review it. Okay, unfortunately, some of us have the tendency to have all of this momentum and motivation around that December, January time. And we're very adamant about writing down our goals and looking at them frequently and reminding ourselves of all of the things that we want to achieve, because that's when we're in our winter arc, right? We're going 100 miles per hour. We really have our eyes on the prize around that time. And because the whole world has that motivation and it's something that's kind of like ingrained into society at that point. However, around the 6 months mark is when people start to even forget that those goals existed. So this is a very simple but necessary tip, and that is for you to take those goals out and review them. So I always recommend for you to create a vision board and for you to have it in a place where you can see it consistently. That way it's not too difficult for you to review them more often, and then it's kind of like low-key ingratiated into your day-to-day if it's like your laptop desktop, which is mine for example, or your phone lock screen. However, on that same note, because it's so like ingratiated into a part of your routine, it might start to just be something it might just be a background, and that's what we do not want. I want you to be consuming it and taking it in more often than not. Try to have like a monthly review session for yourself and for your goals if you could do that. Maybe even semi-monthly or bi-monthly, but I definitely think a monthly check-in or review to where your goals were, to just see where you're at on that track, will help you so that you don't get to a point where you feel like you're starting from scratch, because you are absolutely not. So let's do that real quick. I don't have my vision board for the whole year on my lock screen. This is actually for Q1. So let me go get my one second. I put out my journal because I did a New Year life audit. If this is something that you're interested in, I highly suggest doing so. I have a video where I touched on it from the top of the year. Highly suggest checking that out. Definitely recommend doing a life audit if you have not. And I want to preface step one by saying, if you did not create a vision board or have some long list of goals somewhere at the top of the year, do not feel like this video does not apply to you, because it absolutely does. Don't fret. Instead of reviewing the goals that you set at the top of the year, if you do not have any that you could review or go back to, this is your time to set some. That's the only difference. Take out a pen and paper, do a life audit for the year of 2025. What things do you want to see change? What things do you want to achieve by 2026? This is your opportunity to do that. It is never, ever, ever too late. But yeah, I have some of my goals written down in a journal and then the rest in a vision board so I can visually take those in. But just doing a quick little glimpse, quick little look-see at some of the goals that I have for the entire year. It includes monetization on my social platforms, losing my FUPA, reading the whole Bible, paying off my debt or my credit card debt, primarily stacking up my savings, securing some type of content creator brand collaborations and partnerships, and accumulating several streams of income, and then eating healthier, remaining consistent in the gym, having solo dates more consistently, strengthening my relationship with God, my man, my friends, my family, becoming more and more confident. All of these are things that I have on my list for the entire year. So step one, check, goals reviewed. Now, step two, I wasn't sure which one worked, but that's why I said it might be several R's in this whole and this 3 R's situation. The second and third, I guess, is to reassess and reevaluate. So when you're looking at these goals, I want you to assess how practical they are. Now that we're at the 6-month mark of the entire year, if you can look back and be like, okay, feasibly, the goal that I had for my savings, it's not practical, because I know where I'm at right now. If you have a goal of saving $2,000 for the year and you're currently at $20, maybe $2,000 in 6 months, it might be wise for you to reassess that goal and maybe adjust it accordingly. So I know for me, I definitely need to reassess some of my goals because I had some financial things come up, you know, some hiccups along the road. I wasn't as disciplined certain months, and all of that is normal. All of that is fine. I just want to make sure that I preface that this isn't a time for you to beat yourself up. It's a time for you to reflect. And this is healthy criticism, and then this is self-reflection that is very, very crucial if you want to achieve the things that you set out for yourself at the top of the year. So it's not to say that some of the things might be impossible, and I don't want you to get into the reflection part and start doubting yourself. But another R that we can throw in there is that I want you to be realistic. Okay, this is the time to be realistic. This is not the time to live in Delulu land. You can be delusional, obviously, to an extent, so that you can manifest these things for yourself. But we also want to make sure that we are being very, very realistic and practical with ourselves, because we want to see results at the end of the day. That could be another R. We want results. Okay, make these goals realistic so that we can see results. I know that I had some things come up for me financially, so maybe my savings goal needs to deduce a bit. And that's okay. Is there anything else that I could be readjusting? Losing the FUPA. In the first 6 months, I did the measurement of the circumference of my muffin top, and I don't know that I'm not gonna say that it's impossible, but it's a little bit tricky for me, and that might be something for me to reconsider. Maybe as opposed to losing the FUPA, maybe I set it to just losing a certain amount of pounds, because you can't spot reduce fat. Anybody on a health and wellness journey is privy to that information, and it's something that I could talk a lot more about. If you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments, whether it's like healthy eating, dieting, calorie deficits, weight training, cardio, the gym, whatever. This is my first like few months where I've been consistent with getting 10,000 steps a day. Who knows, maybe if I stick that through, or for a couple more months, I will lose the FUPA. But I'm now considering, like, okay, maybe having the spot reduction of fat from one particular place on my body might not be as practical as a goal as saying, okay, let's lose X amount of weight. And another note is that some of the readjustments that you might be making to your goals aren't always that they need to be minimized. Sometimes they could be maximized. For example, for my new channel, I had set out for myself to have 1,000 subscribers for my brand new channel. In my mind, I'm like, okay, if I'm starting the channel in February, 1,000 subscribers in a year, like, I hope I could really achieve that. The whole time I'm pushing 700 in Q2. Okay, pets back. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all. Love y'all. I'm here for that. I love that. So do I feel like I can achieve 1,000 subscribers by 2026? I'm pretty sure I can exceed that number in 2026. So 1,000 subscribers is going to be my goal for the end of summer, not for the end of the year. That is a readjustment that I can make. Do I think I'm on track for monetization by 2026? Absolutely. I really, really do. I've been more consistent than I've ever been, and I'm staying the course. I'm staying on track, and I'm very, very proud of myself thus far. But based off of where I'm at, I may have underestimated myself a little bit, and that's something that you need to take into consideration as well when you are doing your reassessment and your reevaluation. Did you overestimate anywhere on these goals, and did you underestimate yourself anywhere on these goals? If so, I need you to raise that bar, honey. Okay, this is not the time to just be like, oh well, I said I wanted to lose 15 pounds and I already lost 15 pounds, so maybe I just cruise out for the rest of the year. No. Okay, we're going for gold. We're going for success. We're going for thriving, okay? We are not going to settle in any which one of our goals, whether it be career, finances, family, friends, loved ones, spiritual, emotional development. We are not going to lower the bar on any capacity. So don't think that because you're doing good, you need to lower that bar. Raise it up and keep grinding, keep hustling. Now the third and final step, low-key my favorite, is 2 more R's. And that is for you to reimagine and romanticize these goals. Number 1, so for reimagine, what I mean by that is for you to bring these goals to life in a different way. Maybe you already had a vision board and it really didn't do too much for you, so now you need to get out the magazines, start cutting the pieces of paper and sticking it onto a construction board and hanging it in your wall. Maybe all you did was write it down in your journal and now you want to have it visually somewhere. I highly suggest doing this, and another form of reimagining it is not just reimagining and making an entirely new vision board for the end of the year, but maybe be a little bit more specific in what you can do in this season and make a vision board for that. So that is something I briefly spoke about in another video, but I actually never got around to doing it. But I will be making a vision board for the summer. When I think of myself reimagining these goals that I have for the end of the year, I know exactly what type of summer I want to have. And with that in mind, I want to make sure that I am reimagining it in a way that it's not only aesthetic, but it's romanticized, and it makes me feel like I'm looking forward to working towards these goals over the summer. Another really beautiful thing that I love about Q3 is that July, August, September. My birthday is at the end of August. So I feel like I closed out the summer a little bit for myself around my birthday, and I really, really like approaching my birthday as if it is the new year. Ever since I turned 27, I'll be turning 28 this summer. But ever since I turned 27, I set out this goal to be very intentional about my birthday, and approaching it like the new year has done wonders for me. I'm going from my mid-20s to my late 20s. I'm treating my birthday like the new year, because it is a new year. It's a new year for me. I don't know why people don't do that. And I think it's why I've been able to remain pretty consistent and on track with the goals that I've set at the top of the year and the goals that I set for myself throughout my 27th year around the sun. So it gives me something to look forward to. It gives me something to work toward. It gives me a brand new vision and reimagination of what I want this version of myself to look like, to feel like, to act like, how I want this version of myself to carry herself, how she smells, how she presents herself, all of these different things. And whether or not your birthday falls in the summer, the end, the beginning, or the winter, whatever the case, I want you to really reimagine and romanticize the steps and all of the things that it's going to take for you to get to that place where you are comfortably cruising into your results by the beginning of 2026. Okay? Make it cute, make it fun, make it a vibe. Don't just reimagine it and make it a vision board and then tuck it away again, because that's not going to get us anywhere. We need to approach it differently than the way we approach the top of the year, especially if you're someone who forgot that those goals existed. What are you going to do differently with these goals so that you can approach these next 6 months with a different type of tenacity, a different type of energy that's actually going to make something shake? Because you can do so much in 6 months, you guys. You really can. I don't want to say 6 months like the clock is ticking and you need to get up on your good foot before you get left. I don't want to make it seem like that, because to be honest, 6 months is a long time. I don't want you to sleep, but I also don't want you to panic. 6 months is a long time, and you can make a lot of different things shake in that amount of time depending on how you approach it. So let's reimagine it. Let's go into this summer and into the next 2 quarters differently than we approached the beginning of the year. We want to be able to have a momentum that is sustainable. So romanticize it, reimagine it. What do you want this person that works towards their goals to look like? How do you want them to act? How do you want them to carry themselves? For me, I'm putting all of that stuff onto my vision board for the summer. It's going to be the lock screen on my phone. And then not only that, but I am going to come up with a new series for you guys where I will be documenting that process. And I am so excited for you. Are you guys ready for the title? Drum roll, please. You can consider this the first video that is a part of the Bombshell Diaries. Yes. That is a way for me to romanticize me working toward these goals for the second half of this year. It's going to be called the Bombshell Diaries. And obviously, if you're on the internet in any capacity, you know that Love Island USA has the world in a chokehold right now. And I am guilty. I'm one of the world and has us all in a chokehold, and that is fine and dandy. But one of the things that I've been able to take away from it has been, and in essence, when you think of a bombshell on Love Island, on the show, for those who don't watch it, it's a dating show. And when a bombshell comes in, they shake the motherfucking room. Okay? They shake the room. The whole purpose of a bombshell is for them to come in and shake things up. And when they come in, necks break. When they walk in, it's like everybody's neck is broke, and they're very selective about the people that they bring in as bombshells. When they come in with a very high level of confidence. The whole reason that they're there is to shake things up, so they can't walk in with anything less. They have to walk in with confidence, and they have to shake the table.
Now that shaking the table.
Okay? And that's something that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make things shake this summer and thereafter. So I don't know how long the Bombshell Diaries is going to go for, but what I do know is for the duration of 2025, I'm going to be documenting everything that I'm doing in my power to try to show up for myself as the bombshell that I know that I am. So if this sounds like something that aligns with what you want for yourself, please do yourself a favor and like, comment, and subscribe. I'm very excited. It's going to be all types of 5 a.m. morning routines, 6 a.m. morning routines. It's going to be health and wellness. It's going to be lifestyle. It's going to be motivation. It's going to be vibes, okay? It's going to be how I want to show up. It's going to be how I want to present myself. Think about the girls in the villa, y'all. 6.5 weeks. They got to make sure their hair look good. They got to make sure their makeup look good. They got to make sure their nails look good. They're presenting themselves in a certain kind of way. They do be in the gym, okay? Some of them do be in the gym. It's going to be all of that. Literally all of that. How I want to show up and present myself a certain kind of way, and how I'm going to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable and giving y'all the opportunity to hold me accountable. And hopefully, if y'all let me know in the comments what you're working toward for the duration of 2025, I'll be able to hold y'all accountable too, and we'll be on this journey together. So do you see yourself as a bombshell? Do you see that in your future? Do you want to have a bombshell summer? Okay, come on with it. Hit the notification bell. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, you guys? If you want to see things shake for yourself and for me, you want to join the journey, please stick around. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm very excited. Thank you so much for stopping by and for sticking around this long. Like I said, make sure you let me know what goals you're working toward for the rest of 2025 in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.